Main event match was Lashley defeating Jeff Hardy with a spear to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. A really good match with one insanely stupid bump from Jeff Hardy. This guy's going to kill himself. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, so be it. But they did a spot where Jeff laid Lashley out on the steel ring steps outside the ring. And it looked like there was like an added layer of steel or plastic, aluminum, whatever the hell it was, on top of the stairs. But it was still the steel steps. And Jeff Hardy climbs back into the ring, up to the top rope, and does a swanton bomb, which, of course, Bobby Lashley moves out of the way, and Jeff Hardy lands right on top of the ring steps with the swanton bomb. It was just, ugh. The guy's going to kill himself. That's all I got to say. And it was a spectacular bump, but, you know, he shouldn't be doing that. He really should not be doing that. He was pretty much done for after that. Got back in the ring. That's when Lashley speared him. 1, 2, 3. So a convincing win for Lashley. You know, it's funny. They're booking Bobby Lashley as champion a hell of a lot better than they ever did Magnus when he was champion. Better than Eric Young when he was champion. Lashley is a heel, but he's a monster. He doesn't need help. And he didn't get any help. There was no interference in this match from Kenny King, from MVP. He didn't hold the ropes. He didn't hook the tights. He didn't throw powder in his eyes. Jeff Hardy made one stupid mistake, and he paid the price for it. And Bobby Lashley got the clean win, which he's gotten plenty of clean wins recently over Eric Young, okay? That's how you book your world champion. And that was the biggest problem I had with Magnus as the champ. Yes, he was the heel, but so is Lashley. And guess what? They're booking him to be a credible world champion. Lashley, or Magnus was champion for what, 4 months? He was a fucking pussy. Every single week he was booked to be a pussy. 8+ promos, but once he got in the ring, the matches were only okay. And the finishes, I mean, it just made him look like a complete puss. So he was a failure as a world champion. You can't take somebody like that seriously. Eric Young, they tried, but he's been a comedy character for so long, nobody ever really saw him as a world champion. And if he got over like one, he'd still have the belt. They put the belt on Lashley. The guy's a monster. I saw him he is so... I can't even describe to you how enormous in person this guy is. He was standing 5 feet in front of me, and just a shadow was cast over the first 3 rows. I mean, he is a gigantic man. He's not a bad wrestler. You know, he used to bore me, but I'm kind of getting into him as champion. I think it's the right role for him. I hope they keep the title on him for a while. I know he signed for a fight with Bellator. I think it's a little crazy to put him in an MMA fight. I don't care who you pick for him. If you pick some schlub, anybody can beat anybody in a mixed martial arts match at any given moment on any given day. All it takes is Bobby Lashley, your monster heel TNA World Heavyweight Champion, to get knocked out or lose a fight to a guy with a losing record, some kind of scrub. That would be really, really bad if that happened. So maybe they find a way to get the belt off Lashley before that fight. I think the fight is at the beginning of September. Maybe he loses the title at the next New York City taping, since those tapings are going to carry them through September. I hope not, though. I think it would be a mistake. I think you keep the belt on him for a while until you have a strong enough babyface to come along and beat him for it. I don't know if Bobby Roode is that guy. I don't know if Bully Ray is that guy. But I'm okay with Lashley being the champion. I said it the night that he won the belt, when he beat Eric Young. I don't have a problem with Bobby Lashley being the champion. And to my surprise, they've really built him up as a very strong, credible champion. And I applaud them for that. The unfortunate part about this is that this match would have been a fine way to end the show, but nope, we weren't done yet because Delusional Dixie had not yet made her grand appearance. And so the show continued. Backstage, a pissed-off Kurt Angle told MVP that he is wrestling a singles match next week against Bobby Roode. It'll be Falls Count Anywhere. MVP was not happy with that development. And then came the real main event of the show, which was Rockstar Spud introducing Madam Dixie, who came out with EC3. She bad-mouthed New Yorkers. Not surprising, given how her devout loyalty to one New Yorker for so many years basically helped cripple her company. She referred to Bully Ray as a C-rated star. Well, B-plus player was taken, I suppose. Bully and Dreamer came out with a table bearing Dixie's name. They cleared the ring of all the heels. They were about to put Dixie through the table when EC3 gave Dreamer a low blow. Dixie escaped through the crowd. We then heard familiar music as Devon returned to TNA. He and Bully delivered the WhatsApp to EC3. Then Devon pulled out a table. They put EC3 through it with the 3D. Crowd was happy to see Devon, and that's how we went off the air. It irritated me that they did not go off the air with the title match, as good as it was. Plus, it's a world championship match. You're in New York City. How do you, and it's a big match, too. Bobby Lashley, Jeff Hardy, two of your biggest stars. How do you not end the show with that? But that's TNA's MO. I guess they wanted the feel-good moment with Devon's return at the end, and Lashley winning wasn't feel-good enough for them, but it still should have ended the show. There's no reason this segment that we saw here with the Dixie nonsense could not have opened the second hour of the show. It should not have ended the show. But a good show overall, and I think the tapings do get better as they go along, and get used to it, because these New York City shows are going to be Impact's home that you see on TV for the next 2 months at least, with so many shows they've taped. I like the atmosphere. I like the way that it came across. It looks kind of small, but you know what? It's better than putting Impact in a building that's bigger, but only filling half of it, because then that looks even more depressing. So you had a bunch of rowdy fans who are into the show and having a good time, and it's a different setting, and it just looks different. It's fresh. I don't know if it'll still feel as fresh 2 months from now, but right now it does. So I like that aspect of it.